Let's take a look at the Crater Lakes Disc Golf Park Pro layout for UCIT. This is City of Mount Gambier 2022 Eruption presented by RPM Discs. Hole 1, sponsored by the City of Mount Gambier, is a 96 metre par 3. The play on this hole is a straight shot along the right side of a row of cypress trees, with the player looking to finish left through the trees towards the basket on a sloped green. The danger on this hill is a roll away down the slope towards the OB on the left side. There's also OB on the right side, but doesn't really come into play. Hole 2, sponsored by Oz Discs and Hyzerflight, is a 280 metre par 5 and one of the feature holes of the Crater Lakes Disc Golf Park. Players will throw from an elevated tee over the top of an inbounds car park, but take on an OB lake and OB along the entire left side of the hole. As you approach the basket in this hole, the fairway narrows, including an OB line that encroaches upon the basket the closer you get. Hole 3, sponsored by RPM Discs, is a 120 metre par 3. Players will be enticed to throw the long water carry in an attempt for the birdie, but can also play the safe option around to the left side, but this will take birdie out of the equation. Hole 4, sponsored by Dowling Agritech, is a 199 metre par 4. Players will need to navigate a mandatory shortly after the tee before making their way to a narrowing fairway with OB all along the left side. As you approach the basket, OB long comes into play and is a very elusive birdie for those that take on this course. Hole 5, sponsored by Launch Disc Golf, is a 252 metre par 4 and one of the most challenging holes on the Australian Tour. Throwing from an elevated tee, players will need to navigate early trees before the fairway opens up, before only narrowing again as you approach the basket, which is positioned upon a large mound renowned for vicious rollaways. A par on this hole will easily feel like a birdie to most players. Hole 6, sponsored by Barry Maney Group, is a 157 metre par 4. Players have an open drive, but placement will be key as you approach a large, uphill and narrowing section of fairway, before navigating around a left-hand corner towards a relatively open green, though stray approaches and rollaways can find their way into surrounding vegetation. Hole 7, sponsored by Berg's Bags, is a 153 metre par 4. Off the tee, a mando is in place to stop players playing down the fairway of hole 6, but this should not really come into play. Players will drive down a tight wooded line, hoping to reach the corner and open section of fairway. The whole left side of this hole is dense vegetation and not where you want to be. The closer you get to the basket, the more OB comes into play on the right side. Hole 8, sponsored by GY's Painting, is a 148 metre par 4. This short par 4 requires a placement drive for the ideal approach to an island green across an OB car park. This is a classic risk and reward hole, as the closer one lands their drive to the OB line, the easier their approach to the island and basket will be. Hole 9, sponsored by All Stars Pizza, is a 72 metre par 3. Players looking for a birdie on this technical uphill hole will be forced to throw their drive high, over and around a tree, or taking caution not to fall victim to savage rollaways, or overthrowing to the right side of the hole and finding OB.